1, 2, 3, 4 monsters. Here we go. Jumping us first in the Watchtower. Actually, we don't want to say jumping us. We don't know if we're going to get ambushed. Mutant Scum. It's weird. See, it is weird. What's going on there? Is he wearing like a mask or something? Oh, well, no, he's a mutant, of course. Carrying a fish? Oh, no, you know what? I think that's a lunch truncheon. It's one of the food items. Annoy. So when you are targeted by something with the Annoy ability, you must guard, which is fine. So let's see. The Mutant Scum will go after whoever has the highest morale. So that means our fishy confectioner is safe, and that will be our fugitive fop. Next we have a Bloodsport Bruiser. Look at that fella. Does he have a shoddy shield? No, it's a different shield. Also Annoy, and he goes to the highest strength. Which, actually, who's strong in this party? A fishy confectioner. We have here a Mutant Maniac. It's a goblin. So we could have used the Grublin to keep it from attacking. We gave it to the beggar, right? Yeah, we don't have that anymore. Horde, meaning that if there are any bandits present, he gets a +1. There are bandits, so his attack will be a 5 instead of a 4 until we kill all the bandits. The Highlands, pretty much everything is a bandit, I believe. And he gloms onto the highest agility. So we have a couple of 8s. Let's go ahead and pile him onto the fishy, the fugitive fop. Although it can actually be either one of these. Let me table that decision for the time being. A tree terror. Well, this is not a bandit. It is a witch. A witch is notable for a couple of things. There's a class called the Witch Smeller that keys off of the witch keyword quite a bit. There's also an ability called Endless, which means you can't actually kill the monster if there are any witches that are still alive. What is that even doing? That is certainly a terror. All right, so if we were outdoors, which we are not, the Watchtower is indoors, this would have been an ambush. We do, however, the target will have to make a magic check against Curse, which if we fail, we lose a point of luck. The highest perception, and if this thing is still alive at the end of the round, we want to make sure it's not, it will summon another creature. The highest perception, either one of these, so we're going to go ahead and glom everything onto here. Highest agility, these two are tied for perception. Oh, wait, yeah. All right, so here's how it plays out. Either of these fellas can go first, excuse me, ladies, because they both have a perception of 8. We'll have the Void Witch begin with an assault. Let's see, let's start making sure that that tree terror isn't around to summon anyone. Right? Yes. All right, so using her agility of 8 with the sacrificial dagger, which will recover a point of damage as long as something's not a construct or undead. Yeah, so it'll heal up that last point of damage. You know, I wonder if it's worth giving the dagger to the fishy confectioner. I mean, not now, but at a certain point. You know, I should have considered that. These guys should be sharing their inventory items. Oh, you have to be a warlock. Fishy confectioner, not a warlock. All right, so an agility of 8, 1 power die. We are going for this tree terror, which has a point of armor. No, the pistol will ignore that. Good Lord, that's quite the miss. Now, let's see. I know. Yeah, okay. So if we'd been using the tranquilizer darts, those would have been. Do you discard them? Yeah, those are used up. And if we'd been using the shoddy shield, that would have broken. So fortunately, just a major miss. Nothing happened. Oh, and that should have been an assault. Now we will guard here. We have to guard anyway. We've got 2 4s, and this is a 5 because there is a bandit in this location. Our attack and our defense are both keying off of an 8. We will ignore 1 point of armor. We will get an additional power die, but we're losing a point of agility. So we're actually rolling these against a 7. Is that wise statistically? I think so. The 2 power dice will help. Are there any vermin? No. Okay. No vermin. Yeah. All right, so here we go. It is a guard. We're rolling against a 7 instead of an 8. So we definitely succeeded with the defense, but our highest was a 3. So we're only going to intercept 3 points of damage, which means we take 1, 2, 3, and then 4 for the plus. So 4 points of damage applied, 4 wounds to our fugitive fop. And the attack was a big fat miss. The fishy confectioner will also guard. Oh, she has to guard. She doesn't get an extra power die. This is not a fishoid. And it's an agility of 7. Yeah, the attack is a strength of 7. The defense is agility of 7. The power die applies to the defense. The defense succeeded and prevents any damage. The attack failed. So nothing either way except for the fugitive fop taking a hit. Let's go to the second round. So actually before the second round, the tree terror summons an ogre moron. Dude, get your finger out of your nose. He's a dimwit. What a dimwit does is for his first round, instead of his attack being a 5, it's going to be a d6. He's got a ton of hit points. And he goes after the person with the highest strength, so we'll just pile him on here. All right, we will assault hero. Let's find out what the dimwit's attack is going to be. Oh, jeez, Pete. All right, the Void Witch will, so there's no hurry now. Oh shoot, I forgot my curse. Real quick, let me do a magic check. Magic is 7, otherwise we lose a point of luck. We failed that, lost the point of luck. All right, so back to this assault in progress. Generally, you want to go after whoever has the highest attack because that's the hardest one to defend against. The Mutant Maniac will be a 5 consistently as long as one of these bandits is alive. The Dimwit's going to revert to a 5 after this round. So let's go for, I'm not sure it matters so much. We're going to ignore armor, so we'll take advantage of that ability, and we'll go for the Horde Bandit. Because this is going to stay at 4. So yeah, clearly doing that. We're guarding, of course, so the power die applies to defense. 7s all around because the shield is giving us the additional power die. All right, let's see. We failed this, so we can defend against a 3 and a 2. This is going to be painful. It might be fatal. I think it will be fatal. So all told, let's just total up damage. We have 6, 10, 14, 18 points of damage, minus these 5 will be 13 points of damage, which puts us squarely at our wound limit. So the fugitive fop is down. However, we did do an attack of 4, so the 4 damage is applied, and it ignores armor to the Mutant Maniac. And 4 is all the hit points that it has, so it is dead. Now, when you die, you lose all trophies, so this trophy just goes back into the discard pile. Does it get shuffled in the deck? No, it goes to the discard pile, because it is indeed dead. And that was, oh, wait, where did I put that there? That was the guarding for the fugitive fop, now guarding for the fishy confectioner. No power dice, rolling 7 against 7s on a Bloodsport Bruiser. Defense succeeded, intercepted the 4 points of damage. The attack missed. So now we do a round of targeting. The ogre minion is no longer a dimwit. He has realized his attack is indeed a 5. Goes after the highest strength, which will be the fishy confectioner. The tree terror, the highest perception, which will be the void witch. The mutant scum, the highest morale, obviously the void witch. All right, so we're in full-on defensive mode. After this battle, we are definitely going to want to rest and heal up. If we don't, if at the very beginning of the next turn we don't do something to get the fugitive fop even a smidge of healing, even a single point, then the fugitive fop is dead. And if we have 2 or fewer doom tokens, and we have 0 right now, we could then draw a new character. So even if the fugitive fop dies right now, which I'd kind of be okay with, If the fugitive fop dies right now, we'll draw 3 characters and choose one of them to take her place. And I'd kind of be okay with that at this early stage in the game. Can you let a character die? Sure, of course you can. We might do that. All right, but first, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We've got to survive this fight. So, the highest perception, the Void Witch, this Mystic Shield. Let's see, a combat action. If there's no counters, I think we'll do this instead of attacking. Is that worth it? So you do it when you guard, which would mean we would get the 2 defense dice plus the power die, and then our combat action would be this magic check instead of an attack. Oh, I think we have to guard because of annoy. Let me check my cheat sheet. Target must guard, but that's a stance and not an action, right? So yeah, so that simply means this has to be a guard stance. And we could still choose as our combat action the Mystic Shield. Do we want to do that? We're rolling against an 8 because we are suppressed because we were freaked out looking at that Shadow of Doom coming out of the Temple of Madness. Rolling against an 8, it would intercept damage. I think we're going to do that. Again, discretion, better part of valor, all that stuff. Play defensively. Yeah, so we're going to do that. So instead of an attack, this is a magic check. The higher die will be how much the shield defends, and we're going to defend with this. All right. The defense succeeded, but only blocked 2 points of damage. The Mystic Shield gets 6 wounds right here. While there are counters on this card, if you would take a wound, you may remove a wound from this card instead. Although, let's table that real quick. This fires off first. We have 8 points of damage incoming. We can guard 2 from each person, so we take 4 points of damage. So we're going from 1 to 5. Now we apply the Mystic Shield. So now we've got 6 points of armor, so to speak. All right, going over to the Fishy Confectioner, who will guard, meaning an attack with 7, a defense with 7. He must guard. The dimwit ogre moron knows he's a 5. We will attack. Let's attack the ogre moron because he's hurting us more. Let's get that out of the way more quickly. The defense succeeded in intercepting 4 points of damage, which means the ogre hit us for 1. And our attack succeeded and applies 4 points of damage to the ogre moron. All right, the next round we don't have a fugitive fop with us, so we go straight to the Void Witch. The Void Witch now has a Mystic Shield. The Mystic Shield is going to intercept damage. Do I then want to use the Sacrificial Dagger to attack? If I kill someone, I heal a wound. I think I want to be in assault mode. Is that crazy? Because the Mystic Shield's defending me. If I fail my defense roll, which is not likely, I've got an 8. Come on, how often are you going to fail an 8 on 2d6s? If I fail my defense roll, the Mystic Shield will intercept the damage. I think I'm going to assault the mutant scum. Is that reckless? I would only heal a point of damage if I did it. And we're in disastrous shape wound-wise, so it's going to take plenty of resting. So you know what? There's no point in doing that. I'm going to stay in guard mode and roll against agility of 8. But we have, oh, you know what? It's not even an option. I keep forgetting we have to guard because of the mutant scum. All right, well, that succeeded, and we intercept 5 points of damage, so nobody hurts us. That succeeded and does 6 points of damage to, I didn't specify, the mutant scum. Actually, I would have killed either one. Did I specify? I don't think I did. Obviously, I think I would have wanted to attack this one, so I would have the flexibility to assault if I wanted to. So we are attacking, we are killing the mutant scum. We take no damage. The Mystic Shield isn't depleted at all. The Fishy Confectioner now guards. Keying off of a 7. Shoot, we missed. All right, the attack missed, the defense missed, so nothing happens except the Fishy Confectioner takes 9 points of damage minus 2, which is 7 points of damage. Added to 6 is 13. Yikes. The next round of combat. Now, the Void Witch, I think, will, because is there any reason? I think I want to do an assault to make sure to kill this, right? No matter what, this will protect me. The problem is this fella here might die, and then everyone's going to pile onto the Void Witch. So actually, I'm not going to assault. I want to save these here if I can, because I'm anticipating perhaps an incoming Bloodsport Bruiser and Ogre Moron. All right, so she's going to guard. We're rolling against an 8, agility all around. The defense succeeded marvelously, no damage. The attack was successful with 6 points of damage, which will kill the Tree Terror. The Fishy Confectioner will guard. She's rolling against her 7s. Oh, she will attack the Ogre Moron. The guard succeeded and intercepted all the damage. Good. And the attack succeeded and did 3 points of damage, which puts the Ogre Moron at 7 wounds. All right, the next round now. The Void Witch can assault using her Sacrificial Dagger. So if she kills the Ogre Moron, guess who's going to heal a point of damage? No need for the defense dice. Rolling off of an 8. A successful hit for 3 points of damage destroys it. Heals us up a point of damage. Puts this here. Now the Fishy Confectioner. If he dies, is it any big deal? Excuse me, she. It's a big deal because, dying sucks. But otherwise, we're going to have to do a recovery next round. She has so many wounds, she might as well die. And if she does die and the Bloodsport Bruiser attacks the Void Witch, no big deal. All right. By the way, this Annoy only means you have to guard if you're targeted. You can assault against an Annoy if you're not targeted. All right, so our Fishy Confectioner will guard using her agility of 7 and also attack using her agility of 7 with a power die. The guard, well, all right, she's dead. So she failed the defense. Yeah, here's the point where I might have considered luck earlier, but no. She failed the defense, so the defense die intercepts 1 point of damage, which means she takes 3, which maxes her out here. She did, however, hit the Bloodsport Bruiser for 3 points of damage. So there are 3 wounds. In the next round, she loses all... Oh, here's the painful thing about dying. You lose half your experience. This hurts. Ouch. So from a 9, you always round up in Dungeon Degenerates to a 5, and from a 3 to a 2. So that did hurt. I knew there was something I was forgetting. I knew there was some disincentive to dying. So the Bloodsport Bruiser comes over to the Void Witch. Hopefully this is the last round of combat. The Void Witch will assault. Nope. Bloodsport Bruisers are annoying. You must guard. All right, rolling against 8s, both cases. That failed, but since the defense dice still keys off of a failure, 6 points of damage prevented. Bloodsport Bruiser doesn't do anything. This is one heck of a hit. Kills the Bloodsport Bruiser, which heals us up a point of damage with the Sacrificial Dagger. And furthermore, does this. This right here is a guaranteed loot roll. So let's resolve all this real quick. 6 points of experience. So, which takes us from a 6 to a 12. Did I do that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6. And only 4 points of gold. But still, I'll take it. And the loot roll, as long as we don't roll a 7, we're fine. We draw loot. Caltrops. What do caltrops do? Discard this card in the first round of a fight to inflict 1 piercing damage on each monster. Okay. I mean, actually, that's pretty good. Takes an agility of 7. We are going to give it to... who wants this? Oh, it's a quick action, so anybody can use it. So you'd want somebody with a high perception to have it, because they would go first. They'd be able to use it for free. We'll give it to the Void Witch. All right, discard these monsters. Now, we just had a death. That was terrible. We are in the Watchtower. Oh, we did just win an encounter, and this is the great reason. This is one of the main reasons you want to fight. As I mentioned before, the constant pressure to move forward in Dungeon Degenerates is that every danger card is going to raise the danger level somewhere. Every successful battle lowers the danger level. So the Watchtower goes from 3 to 2. And one of the reasons that's great is because now it's a safer place to rest, because we don't want an encounter next round. We want at least 1 round, and given these people's lousy morales, probably 2 rounds of resting. So let's move on to our resting. All right, it's not a perilous space, which one of the reasons that these burning lakes are so horrible is this little skull right here. Perilous spaces, you can't rest in them. So any damage you take while you're moving through there, you're going to carry over into whatever the next combat is, unless you've got some provision to heal damage, which can be difficult to come by. This is a terrible area to go. Fortunately, not perilous here at the Watchtower. So we are going to rest, which we have to do if we don't want these folks to die. So let's see, if I rested, and just, so work with me here a moment. Let's say I rest and, forget to do a recovery action. Just forget. I'm just like, rats, I forgot that, I can't back up. Can I just not do a recovery for the fugitive fop and replace her? I mean, we'd get to keep her equipment. I mean, it's kind of a dick move, but I don't see any reason. All right, and that now raises the question, do I want the fishy confectioner to die? And I don't think I do, because I like the looter. Oh, I forgot to do this when we were in town. The fishy confectioner's stats are just so terrible across the board. I might let everyone die. And by everyone, I mean everyone but the Void Witch. I could just get rid of these and then bring in new characters, get someone who's better at combat. Although, you know what? In the spirit of RPGing, it just seems so contrary. I mean, I did pick these guys because otherwise, if we have this idea of just letting someone die, I could, go into battle and forget to defend every round, or always go on assault, and just suicide a character. And that just seems a little too cheesy. It seems a little too gamey. So just in the spirit of actual adventuring and fantasy worlds, that's such a min-maxy board gamer thing to do. Let's keep everyone alive. I don't know. I temporarily lost my mind. You know what? It was that Temple of Madness, sending out waves of madness with the Shadow of Doom. I lost my mind for a moment. Let's do our regular recoveries. So we are resting this round. We make morale checks across the board. If we succeed, you heal up your morale. If you fail, you heal up half of your morale. So an 8 morale for the fugitive fop. That is a success. That heals 8 points from 12 to 4. A 6 5 morale from the Void Witch, which really, that's okay. No matter, even if we fail, we're going to heal our wounds up all the way. But she's buoyed sufficiently to pass her roll. And a 6 of 5 morale from the Fishy Confectioner. This is going to be the dead weight here. Oh, very nice, Fishy Confectioner. I mean, still, only 5 points healed. So what was that, 14 to 9? We lose all of these conditions, so no longer demoralized or suppressed. During our rest action, we are... Oh, I didn't specify what stance I was in. Well, obviously I'm wanting to avoid combat, so I would have been in cautious stance. And what that means is you can't explore. I think all you can do in cautious stance... Could I have used this? Oh, no, that's in a town. And should I have eaten any food? No. I gave it all to the beggar. We don't have any more food. Yeah, that's it. If the fugitive fop had failed her morale check, this accustomed to comfort weakness would have given her a demoralized token. So I think that is it. So in cautious stance, the only other thing you can do besides recover is improve. And guess who's sitting on experience points to burn? So let's see, these come off after battle. What if we upgrade? So here are our options. We can upgrade the Mystic Shield. We can upgrade Void Walker, which, by the way, this skill, I mean, this is one of the issues with having a Void Witch. It's never going to come into play. I mean, this is only going to come into play near the end game if we start jumping around Void Gates, which generally you don't do. All right, Decay or, or Mystic Shield. So we could bring Decay into play. We could upgrade, what does upgrading Void Walker even do? Oh, it just makes it, it's more easy to determine where you pop out of a void gate. Pfft, big whoop. So let's see, the Mystic Shield upgrading. Oh, you can load up to 9 wounds onto it. And that's it? That's all that changes? Yeah. Well, wait, what was my limit before? Oh, wait. Place magic test wounds on this card. That's what it did here. I see. So the Mystic Shield, when you have it at the mastery level, you can keep piling wounds or piling defense onto it. You can basically recharge it during battle. When it's not at its mastery level, it's one shot, put wounds on it. Then when the wounds are depleted, you can fire it up again. But at mastery level, you can keep charging energy into it, which I like, but you're not attacking. All right, well, that would cost us 10 experience. That's one option. Decay, oh yeah, and then Decay is kind of lame. It's awesome if you're assaulting, because you can basically shave one of the monster's attacks down half. Choose a target monster, make a magic test. If you pass, and the highest die, if your pass is greater than the monster's XP value, which is almost never more than 3, your target becomes corroded. Oh, no, whoa. The monster just loses armor. Let's see, if we get Decay to mastery level, your target becomes corroded and takes some damage. Well, I think the Decay will give us more options. The Mystic Shield will maybe keep you alive longer. I want to get the Decay into play, because this idea of knocking armor off of a monster as well as doing damage is pretty nice. So let's go ahead and get Decay into play. We're going to spend 8 experience points on it, from 12 to 4. I hope I don't regret that. Yeah, I look forward to mastering these up, but for the time being, that's what we're doing. All right, the question now is, so we've rested, we now draw a danger card. The Goblin Fortress. The Goblin Fortress is a pain in the butt. All right, the Goblin Fortress, by the way, we avoided danger very well with a 6. If we had been in a law space. We would have compared to our bounty, which is 2. They don't want us very badly. Let's see. Stunted, vile creatures arm themselves, and they muster for war in the filthy stone halls of the Goblin Fortress, which puts another 6 on the map. The Goblin Fortress starts at a 5. It is now a 6. So this right here, this 6, as I mentioned before, think of this as a danger avoidance draw rather than a danger draw. We're in a space with a danger of 2. We drew a 6. If this 6 had been drawn, you will note most spaces you're safe, because most spaces aren't a 6. What that means, and one of the ways the deck is tuned, is the things you encounter when you fail this. See that little weird icon? It looks like a sort of a skull. I guess that is a skull. When you fail this danger check, you encounter an epic monster. So what that does is, certainly there are very few of these, but you will only encounter epic monsters as a random draw. They're part of a lot of the scenarios, but you will only encounter them as part of a random draw in higher danger spaces, in 6s, basically. So that's another thing that happens on the board, is now if we were at the Temple of Madness or the Goblin Fortress, or is that the only 2? Yeah, if we were at either of those 2 spaces, we would be in danger of encountering an epic monster. Everywhere else, almost assured it won't happen. So that was our rest action. We did not run into any danger and therefore don't have any encounters. I think we're going to rest again. I want to make sure the Fishy Confectioner heals. Even if he fails that morale, he's only going to heal 3 points. Oh, heal faster, dude. All right, but here's what we're going to do. This might be foolish. No, you know what? We have to do this anyway. So we've arrived at the Watchtower. We know there's a treasure trove at the Watchtower, or the bandit can't actually. So it could happen. One of the things that can happen in this scenario is it could be at neither of those places. And that's represented by us failing a check when we flip over that clue token and check the number on it. And if neither of these has a treasure trove, we're going to have to head down to one of these to look for the unspoiled tomb. What is it? Yeah, unspoiled tomb. So anyway, the point being, we've arrived at the Watchtower. We've rested quietly, hiding, because we don't want monsters on our tail. And now we're going to come out of hiding and search the area to look for this treasure trove. This is also where my herbal remedy mod will come into play. We're going to do an action called Pick Herbs. So we always start a rest action with morale checks across the board. This is mandatory if there is any possible negative outcome from your morale check. For instance, this accustomed to comfort right here. If she fails a morale check outdoors, she's demoralized. She fails a recovery check. I can't just decide not to try to recover. If there's a negative effect, you must do a recovery action. Actually, you always do the recovery action, but if it doesn't matter that it's a failure, why bother rolling? So we're going to roll anyway. So the Fugitive Fop's morale is 8. Oh, Fugitive Fops are pretty happy. She succeeded, so she heals up 8 points of damage. Even if she'd failed, she would have been fully healed. The Void Witch's morale is 6. Here's an example, it doesn't matter. There will be no negative outcome from her failing her morale check. So let's find out anyway. She's really depressed, but it doesn't matter. She just sulks a little bit. Fishy Confectioner, here's where I'd love to pass, because good lord, 9 points of damage. The morale check will heal 6 if we succeed. We did, lovely. We are now down from 9 to 3 wounds, which I think is actually going to be sufficient to just move along. So the other thing we can do, now we're resting, I didn't do this, we are resting in a bold stance because we want to search. So the first thing we want to do is explore this area, because you can only pick herbs in an explored area, and I think you can only check a clue token in an explored area. Let me verify that. Okay, so the way that the exploration works, you can only explore in an area without an explore token, meaning you haven't successfully explored it ever, or with a clue token. So both of those apply here. So we're going to do the explore action. It's a perception roll. Our best perception, we've got a couple of 8s. You know, we'll send the fugitive fop. You know, the fugitive fop's still resting. We'll send the void witch out to explore. Yikes. Well, so not only are we going to not find a clue token, we don't get to put down an explore token, and that means we can't pick herbs. And that means that this rest phase didn't... Well, that means we're going to bold rest again. Because we didn't find it, we're going to keep looking until we successfully find it. So let's do our danger check. Our area is a 2. We draw... It's not explored, so we're checking against a 3. Oh, good lord. All right, a couple of things have happened. So... Oh, shoot a monkey.